I remember Denny Green came to me, and Denny Green, God rest his soul, was the best evaluator of talent of any coach I've ever been around. Would have been a great general manager. And ran the draft beautifully. And I remember when he came to me, he said, Brian, we're going to get Randy Moss. I think we were 21 or 22. The old man's lost it. There's no way Randy Moss is going to fall. I'd done my homework, even though I knew there's no way he's going to get there. Once he got past Dallas at 10 or 11, there was a free fall, and all of a sudden now at 21, we get a Randy Moss. And it was, it was interesting. Chris Carter called me, and he had been working out with Chris Carter. And Chris Carter used to have a workout camp, and he called. And he said, Brian, this is unbelievable. You can't believe how good this guy is. I says, no, Chris is unbelievable. I'm looking at the film right now. We're going to be able to do this and that. He goes, Brian, no, listen to me. You have no idea how good this kid is. And Chris saw it then. And so, yeah, that was one of the special draft days to be able to get Randy Moss at 21. You talked about the guy that could take the top off the deep. And keep in mind now, I also had Hall of Famer
Chris Carter
for that underneath in the slot. I had Robert Smith in the backfield, Randall Cunningham at quarterback. We had some guys now, great offensive line. I mean, we had some weapons. Defenses just didn't know what, because you had to start accounting for Randy. So you had to back up. Well, we could wear you out with Chris underneath or run the ball, and Randy was unbelievable that rookie year.
If I'm not mistaken, Randy only had about 45 catches that year. I can't tell you how many pass interference penalties he had, and how teams, because of him, so rolled to account for Randy Moss. Even though he only had these 45 catches, that Jake Reed, Chris Carter, Robert Smith, Leroy Horde, that cast of characters we had big years because everybody had to account for Randy Moss. You know, it begins with ability. It has to. All production stems from, or all leadership stems from production. But it doesn't need necessarily elite ability. It doesn't mean that they somehow capture, have that right combination of physical tools. They may not be elite in each of these aspects, but for some reason, the sum of the parts, or the whole, is greater than the sum of the parts. And there's a competitiveness, a professionalism. The really greats that I've been around, and I've been fortunate to be around a couple, really do test themselves against a different standard. It's one thing to say, I want to be the best of all time, okay? It's cliche. But there's a handful that's very real. One, because they have that potential where, 99% of the people you talk to don't. But that they have the potential for that. They have the physical skills, and they understand all I need to do is match the drive and the focus. And it may come across differently with some. Some are dismissive of it. Some maybe don't articulate it quite as well in this type of setting. But there's that common quality that being the greatest of all time is something very, very real to them.